All right, episode 4. Here we go.
Here we're back.
What do you got? Same news as last time. There's no new news.
There's
unless
definitely no news.
we're trying this beer.
We're gonna try this beer. We definitely forgot to last episode.
We did. Are you? You want to do it now?
You can, yeah. Might as well because we were supposed to.
Oh fuck. This sounds so good.
That was very good. It definitely does not smell like a regular beer. Like a Michelob Ultra does not smell like.
Well, this is Labatt. It's blue. It's brewed from Labatt, but it's a partnership with Barstool.
It's golden ale.
It's Big Deal Brewing.
That's a different taste.
I don't like it. Oh fuck. That's gross. That's fucking terrible.
I wouldn't say it's gross. I'm not a connoisseur of beers. I drink the same fucking singular type of beer, basically.
Yeah.
Well,
I
like
drink
three beers.
Yeah, I drink three kinds.
Yeah. And they're
Coors
all-
Light, Michelob Ultra, or Miller Lite.
Yeah, they're basically all the same. This is definitely a different taste. I'm definitely gonna finish the can. You have to finish the can.
No,
you have to.
it's foul.
I don't give a fuck. You have to
I
finish
feel like
it.
I'm eating grass.
I don't give a fuck. You have to finish it.
We'll see.
No, you're gonna finish it, Chip.
We'll see how the episode goes.
Make your husband finish it. Oh, try it. Okay, here you go. The old lady's trying it. She's not gonna like it. She doesn't.
Just that face alone.
She doesn't like beer, so if she likes it, I'll be surprised. I mean,
You want to try it?
it's definitely not
Amanda's
like.
not a beer person. Like, she hates Coors Light. She's gonna.
she's gonna hate it.
She's gonna scream.
Yeah, this is definitely not. It definitely does not taste like Bud Light, honey.
Tastes like soap.
Tastes
Soap.
like soap.
So it's definitely I mean, it wouldn't be my go-to beer, but if someone gave me one, like they just did, basically, I'm not going to turn it down, but I wouldn't go out personally. That's a fucking Michelob Ultra crack right there. That's the
I
king
gotta
of
go
all
to this
beers.
one. I stole a beer from you.
Oh, honey, I'm going to need another beer or two.
There's still one here.
Oh, is there? Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't
right
know that. I couldn't see it. Our
Yeah, you're
chair's
good.
too big.
You had two sitting there. I had to steal it. Oh god, I can't finish that. There's
No,
no way in hell.
No, you have to finish it. You have to. I don't care if you got to chase it with a Michelob. You got to finish it. So yeah, to sum up my opinion, it's not the worst beer I've ever had. I wouldn't go out and buy a case of this.
Absolutely
If someone
not.
offered me a singular beer or a couple beers, like, hey, you want a beer? Sure, and I'll take it. But I'm not gonna go out on my own and buy it. It's just not my type of beer, dude. I'm sure like my dad probably like it.
Probably.
Because of the taste. Your dad probably would like it.
Yeah, my dad likes weird shit. Like,
But
he grew up on Pabst and Labatt.
right.
So
he probably would like it, but it's just not my cup of tea, but I'm gonna finish it and that's gonna be it.
Yeah, I'm not
It's
buying
that simple.
these.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna buy it. I mean, I definitely recommend trying it just to try it. But
Yeah.
try it if someone has it already.
Big Deal Brewing, brewed by Labatt.
Yeah.
Original golden ale, 4.5%.
Like I said, it's the type of beer it is. It's not my thing. That's just not my taste. It's that simple.
It's Canadian.
It's probably what Canadians drink.
Well, Labatt is a Canadian beer. Pretty sure that's
It's
why
like
got
PC
Canadian.
Light. I wonder if Dude, we should get zip ties and bias plies on here. Do you know who that is?
No.
Dude, that dude is a fucking hillbilly.
Really? Is he on like TikTok or something?
He's on YouTube.
He's on YouTube?
Dude, he's also on Patreon. I definitely subscribe to him. He's also on TikTok, but that dude is a fucking hillbilly. Basically, no one knows what he looks like.
Okay.
Like there was old videos like of him apparently that like showed his face at like a handful of times.
Okay.
But since then they've been deleted or privatized.
Okay.
So anytime he would like be like in frame, he has a horse head on.
Okay.
But anyways, he drinks PC Light, which is he's Canadian. He's from fucking not Nova Scotia, fucking wherever he's from. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd have to look it up.
You ever seen that
But-
one guy on TikTok? He's from Canada, and he calls people on like their cars he's got listed on Craigslist.
Oh yeah,
And he's like, "How many heifers can I fit in that
Yeah.
fucking thing?"
So it's kind of like, I would say
But
kind of like
he's
that
all
dude.
over the camera. Like, you know
Yeah.
exactly what he looks like.
I would say it's kind of like that dude. Obviously, it sounds completely different, and this dude's way more foul.
Yeah.
way more foul.
I just
dude,
like
he's
watching
one
that
of
one
the,
guy because he's funny as fuck.
he's
the shit
one-
he says.
He's one of the funniest dudes I've ever fucking watched because he
Yeah.
like he beats the shit out of vehicles. Like he owns a bunch of like old Fords and fucking backhoes and shit. He's fucking cool as hell.
What's his name?
Zip ties and bias plies.
That's kind of weird that you say that.
I
'cause
get
now
like I get like a
kinda-
weed taste from it, like the back end of it. is like a bit like a weed. Like
if you could taste the smell of weed.
yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. You know what I'm like? That's a weird taste / smell, I guess, to compare to.
I guess taste put like the smell of weed
in a taste
on the back of your tongue.
Yeah.
And you kind of
Even I guess smoking pot. I mean, I've definitely tasted that weed smell or weed taste back in the day. Probably shouldn't say I used to smoke pot, but I did. You'll have that.
Back in the day.
You'll have that when you have a CDL and can't smoke pot anymore.
That's all right.
You get panic attacks.
You have a big boy job.
Yeah, I have a big boy job. I don't smoke pot. I didn't smoke pot for years prior to that either, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I definitely taste like a weed taste. Watch me get piss tested and fucking I can't fucking magically there's weed in this thing or THC I should say.
Yeah. That'd be your luck.
And I get fired. You'll have that on them bigger jobs.
Well, then we do this full time. I'll quit my job too.
I don't think your wife would like that.
She could just work 24-hour shifts.
I mean, I'm with that. You trying to work 24-hour shifts too, honey? Please? To support my dream? You wouldn't? I would for you.
See, the problem with that one is...
Yeah, I 100% would.
Her place ain't open 24 hours. Use code ShitShow15 for 50% off your orders at RBrand.com.
Hey.
On the Facebook.
There you go. Yeah, no, you can't be a stay-at-home mom. What the fuck? If I gotta work, you gotta work too. No, we're raising our kid.
Imagine a mini Nate running around.
We're raising our
Nate,
kid.
I can't wait till you have a kid. It's going to be great.
That's going to be terrible.
It'll be a great time. Huh?
No, if she works from home, that'd be different. That's fine because you're bringing income in. But I can't be the only income because that's another mouth feed. And children are fucking expensive. But I'm not making a lot of money. That's the thing. I'm barely surviving on my own, and I make the most money out of everyone here.
Shout out Diesel Donlo and RBrands. Check them out on Facebook.
Fair enough.
Gotta plug them.
You do have to plug them. I figured we'd get into that before we go. But anyways, yeah.
How do we get on the topic
myself?
Of this? How do we get on the topic of this?
I have no idea.
A can of beer.
No idea.
This is our problem.
You'll have that one on the bigger jobs.
Damn
anyways, so this episode, conspiracy theories.
This is all you. This is your topic. This is your doing. This is your looking
out
up.
of pure curiosity, I kind of glanced, but I didn't really research. But like I know some offhand. It's fine. It's no big deal. Don't give me that look. Neither of you give me that look. What conspiracy theories do you know?
But that's the thing is like I can't think of one off the top of my head. But
think of one.
I don't know. But like as soon as we start talking about something, I know like something will click. That's my problem. Is like you see it online.
Okay, so this is a big one, and I feel like I probably actually doesn't give me a reason to talk about it, but in my mind it does, because I was born on that day, 9/11.
Ooh,
that's a big fucking topic. That's probably really sensitive, and I don't give a fuck. To be honest,
I can agree.
Don't care. I was born on that day, no big deal.
You're just talking about your birthday.
3 years prior, but
Yeah.
beggars can't be choosers.
Happy birthday, Nate.
Exactly. Yeah, it was literally third birthday, man. Third birthday, I was snoozing. I remember this.
I was in preschool.
You were in preschool?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess you.
There's 3.
Well, I was 3 too, but I wasn't in preschool. I didn't start till. Well, I started at 3, but I was about to turn 4.
That was what 2001.
Yeah.
1998 to 99 to 2000. Yeah, I would have been 3. No.
I was 3.
Yeah.
I was 3. I just turned 3 that day.
Yeah. That's what threw me off. Yeah, you just turned 3.
So, but anyways, I was
I
was snoozing. My dad was working outside in the driveway. My grandma was watching me while my mom was at work, and it was all over the news, and like it was a big fucking shit show. I mean, obviously it's a shit show, but
right. I was in preschool when that happened, and I don't remember anything.
Oh, I definitely don't remember anything either.
But just from what my mom told me was she came to the preschool and picked me up because she thought that they were going to put a plane in my preschool.
Yeah, because there was no. I mean, that was the first. I wouldn't say it was the first, but realistically, that was the first like big attack against the United States in terms of like terrorism.
It was the first attack on American soil.
Pearl Harbor, no.
Not American soil. Technically, like
Pearl Harbor's American soil.
On the 48 is what they were referencing.
Pearl Harbor
was on Hawaii. That's an island in the middle of the fucking ocean.
Is it really? Asking you two for verification.
Hey Siri, where is Pearl Harbor located?
It's very well beyond Hawaii.
Where is Pearl Harbor located? Here it is.
Boston Tea Party.
Just
what
showed
the
me
fuck?
Jacksonville, Florida. So where's Pearl Harbor? No, Pearl Harbor is in Hawaii.
Okay. It'd be nice if you had your phone connected to the soundboard so we could hear Siri, you know.
Well, she just showed me fucking Jacksonville, Florida.
Well,
I said, where's back? It
it would have showed her fuck up to show Apple that they need to fix their shit, for one.
That's what I did. Pearl Harbor location. It's a harbor in Hawaii.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
But
so,
that
yeah,
was the first.
first 48. Okay.
Yeah. Not the first 48, the continental 48.
The first attack on North 48. North 40. Whatever. Anyways.
You're fucking drunk.
So, no, I'm actually not. So, the big conspiracy is obviously planes flew through the building.
Correct.
Or hit the building, I should say. And fly
Correct.
through and just go unscathed.
Correct.
They hit the building and demolished themselves.
Over time, correct. Yes.
Well, the thing is that everyone's going to bring up that jet fuel melts at whatever degree. I don't know. It's 2,000 some fucking degrees, whatever. Or, I'm sorry.
Burns, it doesn't
Jet fuel burns at whatever, and steel melts at 2,500 degrees, or whatever the fuck it is.
Correct.
It's jet fuel burns less.
Then melts metal
Correct.
beams. Yes.
So what really happened? What caused that? There's a ton of conspiracy. Oh, well, I should say a ton. There's a big conspiracy that there's something else, explosions. You know, like I guess a demolition type scenario where there was bombs planted to, or TNT planted to, you know, demolish those buildings, or it happened. You know, they went off afterwards, whatever.
Correct.
Because apparently jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams.
Correct.
You know, at the temperature it was burning at. Granted, there was other stuff contributing to the fire. You know, any office supplies, whatever the fuck was in the building. It's not just
Drywall.
It's not just the fuel
sheetrock.
itself from the plane.
Carpet.
So, what is your opinion on that?
I don't
Like-
have one. Because I mean,
that was
okay,
that's a dead end conversation. Thanks,
No,
asshole.
I do, but it's like, it's hard to explain because like, I feel like you just said, like,
But what
like-
is your opinion on what happened? Like, what do you think is the true thing? Like, obviously, like, we all assume that the planes hit, towers collapsed eventually because of the
right. And you look at it logistically, like where the plane hit, yeah, it made a huge hole. So obviously, there's weak structure to begin with. You know, there's structural damage to the building.
Sure.
Burning shit over time, yeah, it might not have melted it, but that doesn't mean that it got warm enough to where it was soft. You know what I'm saying?
But at that point, it starts to melt.
But you can melt up,
In theory,
or you can heat up a piece of rebar and bend it to a 90-degree angle, and it's not melted. It's soft. It's pliable.
yeah, that's fair.
So if it was pliable metal, the huge weight of this building, the top 40 floors where the plane hit, the weight of that
Sure.
and the structural damage could have easily just caused the top half to hit the bottom half, which, in
Sure.
theory, domino effect's going to take the whole
Right,
building down.
Right.
Do that
That's
to both
fair.
buildings.
That's fair.
But there could also be that theory, because I've seen that picture online of that beam that's perfectly at an angle, cut perfectly to where it looked like there was a charge wrapped around that pole, that when the charge went off, it cut it or
Yeah,
exploded
whatever, yeah.
perfectly and went all the way up.
I guess.
I think a bigger conspiracy theory around 9/11 is the Pentagon,
Why do you say that?
because there is not one video of the plane hitting the building.
No, there's not.
And I've never seen any photographic evidence or any evidence at all stating that there was a plane on that property. They
I
showed-
think there was.
I've never seen it. I could be
I'm
wrong.
pretty sure there's like photo evidence of the plane being there, but there's no video evidence of the plane colliding with the building.
And it's the fucking Pentagon. There's going to be thousands of cameras around
you
there.
would think.
And how is it that there's images of when the plane hit that building, the open side of the building, there's fucking bookcases perfectly standing, a book sitting perfectly on top of a filing cabinet, where a Boeing 747 or whatever it is just smashed into this building. It's not going to knock a book over.
Right.
Shit's on fire. It's not going to burn. That shit was perfect.
Right.
Like somebody peeled open a piece of paper and found it that way.
Maybe.
There was no motors there. There was no. I've never seen anything about plane parts. Like, it all just vanished. Like the one that crashed in PA in Shanksville.
Mm-hmm.
There was planes. There was parts. There was bodies. There was motors. There was
Mm-hmm.
pieces of the plane that they found. The Pentagon, there's
Right.
nothing,
Right.
and there's no
Right.
video evidence
Right.
in Washington D.C.
Right. Speaking of planes, the Malaysian flight. That's a good one.
Didn't that just come back up?
I don't think
I
so.
thought I seen something online about a Malaysia flight or I thought I seen something online. It could be completely irrelevant to that Malaysia flight, but something about there was a plane that was found in the fucking heartland of Russia that Russia said that they shot down, mistakenly thinking it was something else or something.
Maybe.
Shot this plane down, realized what it was, and like covered it up.
That's a possibility. I wouldn't be
and
surprised.
I thought I seen something about that it was that Malaysia flight.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But I don't know why it was that far off topic, like way off course.
I don't either.
That's
interesting.
Right. Because how does a plane just fucking disappear?
Yeah, it's weird.
I mean, again, the ocean's how big? We've only explored 5% of the ocean. So if it crashes in the middle of the Atlantic, the middle of the Pacific, the Indian Ocean, where it's deep as fuck,
you would think
they'd
have a last, a last geographical.
Well, it disappeared over land somewhere, and then they never found it in that area.
But why did it magically just stop transmitting signal?
Maybe if it was hijacked and they cut the signals out. Shut the plane.
Yeah,
they could shut the plane
off. But there's backup stuff for that, dude. Especially after 9/11.
After 9/11, 100%. But you know damn well that if it was hijacked, they did their fucking research.
You would think, yeah.
You know, they did the research on what flight they were going to hijack, what kind of plane it was on, like what model plane, what the equipment was on board, how the plane was equipped, the computer with it, all that type of stuff.
Or was it an inside job?
Or was it in charge? I don't fucking know.
I don't either. It's something to think about. It's crazy.
Conspiracy theories piss me off and confuse me.
Conspiracy
theories.
You fucking Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
We said that at the same time. That's actually kind of funny.
They confuse me and piss me off all at the same time because it's like.
So a big one that obviously we talked about prior to this was the whole JFK assassination.
Yep.
Ugh, if I could talk.
JFK assassination.
Yeah. That's a big one. That's obviously been circulating for fucking 70 years.
And I've heard a little bit about it, but like nothing insane.
60 some years.
So
yeah, it happened in the 60s, right? Yeah, 60s. Yeah, 60s.
I don't know.
Yeah, it happened.
What do you hear? Because like I said, I've heard little bits, but like nothing.
Well, apparently, obviously, they say that Oswald killed him.
Yeah.
You know,
yep.
But there's people that are, obviously, I would say replicating it via CGI, to replicate the whole JFK driving through with in the motorcade and then Oswald in the one building or in the library or whatever.
I've heard that there was 2 or 3 shooters.
And so I've also heard that. So that's what they're saying, that the trajectory of the hit of JFK could not have come from the gun of Oswald.
Because wasn't like JFK got hit obviously in the back of the head, but it was like lower-ish. Like wasn't it like because it came out and like splattered.
Yeah. Like I said,
which is fucked. But like,
I've done research on this prior to, like, watch videos and shit, but I didn't do it right before this because I'm just trying to go, like, I'm just trying to freehand it, essentially, just trying to create conversation.
Right.
But yes, you're right. I'm pretty sure that it's like they're saying there's multiple shooters, but yet
I also seen that one thing on that same topic. I seen a video that the person that was sitting in front of JFK in that limousine or whatever car he was in, like, made a move and turned and, like, put his left, like, if JFK's off to my left, right, or he's behind me, I would turn to my left to put my left shoulder towards him, and then he was shot. Like, it all matched up perfect. There's a theory that, like, there was that shooter and the dude in the car was all, like you said, an inside job to where he shot him, like, through the seat, like, in the heart, or something like that, and where that's like where he slumped over and then hit him
also
in the head.
Like, I get why this is the way it was, but it's also weird that I'm 99% sure that the drivers or the driver passenger sat lower than what JFK did in the car. They physically sat lower, like the seats sat physically lower than what JFK did. Which I know for him it would be for people to see him,
publicity reasons,
But
nobody gives
that's
a fuck
also
about the drivers.
That's also kind of weird, though. Like, I get, like, people want to see him, and he wants to wave, and people want to wave at him and take pictures and videos and shit, or whatever it was back then. Probably videos, definitely videos. But, like, it's just kind of weird that, like, they sat physically lower. I think it was, like, 3 to 6 inches lower than what JFK did. Which also impacted on the fact that when the driver or whoever else got shot, I think it was the driver that got shot or maybe the passenger, they got shot, would possibly save their life from being shot. I mean, obviously, like a bullet traveling through a person and out of a person through a seat into a person, obviously that changes, trajectory. But still, like, I'm assuming they had some sort of common sense of where that bullet would have went if
Right.
it was an inside job.
Right.
Again, we don't know. We'll never know.
The only
Especially
reason we're
since-
going to know is if something comes out. Like, obviously, every single president that's in office, if something was an inside job, they have to know about it.
You would think.
Like, there's got to be some way they know about it. Like, if 9/11 was an inside job, Biden, Trump, all of them have to know about it somehow. If it
But
was,
why wouldn't have anyone, like, I know it's because of their security and stuff, but why wouldn't there be any hints or anything? Even from a president that's like near death or something, or close to it or something that's in
Yeah.
hiding. Like, why wouldn't a president say something and go into hiding or something?
Yeah, I have no idea. There's really like you
not
said,
necessarily
there's no
like-
way to ever really find out
Not
about
necessarily
this.
someone at like the status of like Trump, just because of him being in business and stuff. Obviously, he has a different perspective in terms of that with business and presidency compared to like someone like George Bush or Obama or something that's not as heavily into business as he is, that's where he made his fame and his fortune.
Correct. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
like they're smaller compared to him because of his prior
Right.
fame and fortune.
Correct.
So why wouldn't one of them or a prior president to that say something that, you know, that they may know something and then just
Right.
go into hiding?
Right.
Like what's stopping them if that's the case? It's kind of weird, you know. It's weird.
1963, by the way, Kennedy.
So that's what I say, 60 years,
Something. Yeah.
60,
well,
100, yeah,
be
yeah, because 60,
40, 50. Yeah.
70, 80, 90, 2000,
So I looked this up while you were talking just to kind of maybe
60 years this year, actually.
have some more
To be fair,
topics to talk about. This JFK's one on here, so now we maybe can, branch off
Yeah.
of it. It says JFK was shot in 1963 in a Dallas motorcade.
Yep.
But did Lee Harvey Oswald act alone, which we talked about,
right?
or was there a second gunman on that grassy knoll, that like
Right, and
grassy hill?
And which apparently
that
there's-
angle was the better one.
Apparently, there's video of that.
Somebody over there.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was an actual gun in frame, but they did say, because supposedly that was supposed to be blocked off.
Right. There's people over there.
But there was somebody over there. Was it Secret Service members?
We don't
Was
know.
it a shooter?
We don't
Was
know.
it,
It's just weird, man.
yeah. Another one that's kind of not sketchy, but something that I've heard was the moon landing.
Yeah, so that was gonna be my next go to after we got through this portion of the thing. So do we want to go into that now?
That's fine.
All right,
that
cool.
that one's probably the one that intrigues me the most because
Really?
like
Because of space.
Yes.
I love space.
Yeah.
Space is awesome.
it's fucking sweet. But
Get drunk high and play space in the street. That's what I want to do.
what I seen, one of the things I seen was the footprints that are on the moon, right? Are that oval shape with the lines.
Sure.
It's the bottom of their boot. But then there was a picture of somebody that posted the bottom of the spacesuit, and it was just flat. There was no texture.
Really? I never seen that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So supposedly, you could probably look it up on there if you wanted to while I'm talking.
Keyboard's almost dead,
Oh.
dog. I literally have it off right now to try to be able to stop the recording.
But
I didn't prepare. We didn't prepare.
no, we didn't.
Hasn't been
We
charged
never
in
do.
like
It's a
2
shit show.
months. It's a shit show.
But that was the theory, was like it was staged. Another thing I seen was the flag was perfectly flat, but again, you're in fucking space. There's
no air.
right,
There's no oxygen.
right. So it's just gonna sit there. There's no wind, so it's not gonna move. You know what I'm saying?
Unless they pulled it up because there's no gravity, so technically it shouldn't fall, right?
I think it was framed in metal. That's like my theory.
Well,
Is
technically
like
there would be weight to that.
I think
flag
what they
to an
did was like
extent.
in the image, I think they took like a thin piece of metal and framed the flag and attached that flagpole and stuck it in the moon.
They might have.
And that's what kept it out.
But it was wavy though.
That's what I mean. Like it was just roughly like just put on there. Like it wasn't like stretched tight.
But no, it was wavy as in like it was blowing in the wind.
Oh, I don't know. I never heard of that one.
No, you could see it in the picture, dude. It's,
Right,
not, it's
but-
not like a
But
flat
but there's a
of-
video. Supposedly there's a video of them on the moon, and it
Mhm.
like that's how it looks, picture
Oh.
and video. Like it's not waving in a video.
Oh, it's just.
It's just sitting still.
I mean,
That's why I think they might have done that just to keep it up. Because if you think you're on the moon and shit's gonna float away from you, wouldn't that flag want to float up
possibly. Well,
off that pole?
yeah.
And
Well,
opposite of gravity, it's gonna want to maybe float up a little bit.
yeah, probably.
Because if I'm standing my big ass on the moon, I'm gonna float a little bit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, definitely.
I weigh more than a fucking flag does.
Right. Yeah, that's weird. I wonder if it was staged, dude.
Yeah,
Or if the whole steel thing makes sense. I never thought about that actually.
What are you talking about?
The frame, the steel frame,
Oh.
or whatever. That's what I meant. Steel. That's interesting. I never thought about that.
This isn't a conspiracy theory, but I want to know your opinion on it.
Okay.
Chernobyl.
Okay.
Like, would you go visit Chernobyl?
Absolutely the fuck not.
No?
Fuck no.
I would. This is way off topic. This isn't really even conspiracy theory. But
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I would.
I'm good.
it's safe to visit, like, the area.
I don't think so.
It is.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
They're building an... Okay, so I'm literally just seen this today, or maybe yesterday. So that reactor that exploded in Chernobyl, when it exploded, to keep the radiation inside, they've built a, like, concrete sarcophagus basically around the building in pieces to keep the radiation inside, to keep it from coming out. Well, I guess over the years, it's deteriorated, it's cracked, so it's starting to leak out more.
Correct.
So what they're doing now is across the street from where that reactor is, or like across the land a little bit, 50, 100 yards, 200 yards, they're building a new structure. Supposedly it's made of like concrete and titanium and metal and all this shit. It's super thick, but it's just like a curved, silo almost. And they're going to push it over it and then wall it off.
Really?
Because the uranium or plutonium or whatever is inside that radioactive material, its shelf life, give or say, like just sitting stable, how it sits.
Give or take, but yes.
It's about 9 billion years.
Really?
Yeah.
How did we get it here?
They made it. I
Okay.
guess. I don't know.
We don't have a remedy to fucking fix our fuck ups.
Well, it was supposed to burn to create power.
Well, light the light the fucking bitch on fire.
Yeah, that's how the reactor worked. Was like it was on fire and it like slowly burned it off to create power, like nuclear power. So
we can't just fucking throw some gasoline on it and light it on fire?
Probably not, because it's not contained anymore.
What do you mean? It's just fucking overflowing in the thing.
But it used to be contained where they would add slow increments in to the to keep going.
So just make it explode and we'll have a big power burst and everyone's gonna have free electricity for a couple years.
I'm pretty sure that would like destroy all of Europe. Would be my assumption.
Well,
It'd be like
do we need them?
It'd be like a fucking nuke.
Do we need?
I really don't know. I'm just kind of guessing at this point.
Is it in Europe?
Chernobyl?
Yeah.
Do you know do you know any part in the world?
Not really, no.
Yeah, isn't it in Ukraine? Yeah, because it's close to Kyiv. It's in Ukraine.
I don't know. Speak English, please.
Kyiv is the capital of Ukraine, I'm pretty sure.
I'm glad you know that.
I'm right? I'm going to look that one up, too.
All right, while you're doing that, I got to fucking piss. This is fucking
Jesus.
stupid.
All right, I'm going to look this up. You go fucking piss. We'll figure this out. All right, so I looked it up. Chernobyl happened April 26th, 1986. The number 4 reactor in the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. So, which is in Ukraine.
Okay.
So, Europe.
Okay.
Russia's trying to take over Ukraine right now.
That's fine. To me, it's fine. Doesn't affect me in my day-to-day life.
It's considered a level 7 disaster.
Which is how, on a scale of 1 to what?
7.
Ha! Scale of 1 to 7. It's the
0
fucking...
to 7.
Oh, 0 to 7.
Yeah.
Why is there a 0? That shouldn't be a thing.
So 0 is...
0 should mean nothing happened.
Yeah, it literally is just nothing.
So then why is that even a thing?
1 is anomaly. Whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean in a disaster. In a disaster standpoint. Number 2 is an incident. Number 3 is a serious incident. Number 4 is accident with local consequences. Number 5 is an accident with wider consequences. Number 6 is a serious accident. And number 7 is a major accident.
Oops. Major oopsies.
And that's the INES level scale, which is the International Nuclear Event Scale.
Okay.
So
it's a pretty big fuck up is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Someone got fired that day.
A lot of people died that day.
Well, you'll have
I mean, everybody got fired because the plant shut down and nobody worked ever again. So technically every single person in that plant lost their job.
Yeah, well, should have thought about that before you made the fucking reactor explode.
Like the Chernobyl is the only number 7. Oh, no, there is another one. The Fukushima nuclear disaster in 2011.
Dog's pissed off upstairs, by the way.
I can fucking hear it.
I'm curious to know if it's going to come through on recording. You're going to have to listen to it during editing. So, yeah, someone fucked up, and it was a big disaster.
Like, do you remember back in the day?
No.
In Harrisburg, PA, this is 1979, the 3 Mile Island nuclear incident.
Yeah, because I was alive in 1979.
Well, it's on Netflix, you dumb fuck. There's a documentary on Netflix. I watched it. I was interested about it.
Definitely didn't watch it.
That was only level 5.
Oh, is it bad?
I mean, it was, people died, like they had to evacuate towns and shit.
Well, people die every day. So.
Yeah, but like because of this reasoning.
Ah, got you. Okay.
But, yeah, it was fucking gnarly. But back on the original question, then we can move on. I would visit Chernobyl.
I wouldn't.
I would.
I'm good.
Because I wouldn't go at night, because supposedly there's like fucking manipulated animals because of the nuclear radiation.
I call bullshit. There'd be manipulated.
Have you ever seen the Simpsons movie? That fish had like 900 eyeballs.
Well, I will say the Simpsons have been pretty right about a lot of shit.
Okay.
Apparently.
All
supposedly.
right.
But regardless, nah.
I'm not saying like massive, but like there's like animals that like live differently now.
What do you mean by live differently?
Like suppose there's like raccoons that are like beefier. Like stronger.
Like they're just walking on 2 legs the size of a human.
Yeah.
They're just raccoons.
I'm about to look it up. Chernobyl.
Raccoons.
I'm going to type Chernobyl animals. Animal mutations. Examples of defects including facial malformities, extra appendages, abnormal coloring, and reduced size. Domestic animal mutations were most common in cattle and pigs. Also, cows exposed to fallout and fed radioactive feed produced radioactive milk.
Nice.
It's like green milk. Green glowing sludge milk.
Fuck yeah. Chug that shit, kid. Sucking straight from the cow titty.
Straight from the fucking nut. But I would go to Chernobyl.
I wouldn't.
So if somebody wants to take me.
You get fucking radiation. I'm good.
Yeah, if you fucking live there.
Well,
people still live in Chernobyl. You know that, right?
No,
like near the plants.
No idea.
Supposedly, there's like old people. Like now they're old. Like it only happened like 30 years ago. But when they were told to evacuate, they refused to evacuate, and they stayed inside. And slowly over time, like their body just like gotten used to the low levels of radiation they've been exposed to, and it hasn't hurt them. And they've just lived in their house ever since.
Really?
Like I've seen YouTube videos of people going to Chernobyl to like explore it and take tours of it, which you can do still. Like you can book Chernobyl tours.
What the fuck?
And they like take you like 30 minutes in, and like you can walk around. Like you have to wear like the radiation stuff around you.
You get to see like the Chernobyl spill.
Like
the
the
elephant's foot, I guess is what they call it.
From a distance, not like right there. But
why
like,
don't they clean that up?
They can't.
Why?
Where are they supposed to put it?
Pile it back up in a fucking pile instead of letting it flow out.
It's still like no matter where they move it to, it's still gonna have that same radiation.
Yeah, but
effect.
why don't they like push it into like a different corner or something?
Because then they're just gonna move it closer to other living. Like they've evacuated that entire area for so many miles because it's inhabitable.
Why don't they just dig a hole and put it in the ground?
It's not gonna do anything. It's still gonna leak out through the dirt.
Yeah, but it won't be a fucking eyesore.
Who's in an eyesore too?
Me?
The deer that you in America?
Well, it's inside of a building, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is. Covered in concrete. Now it's going to be covered in another thing, so it's going to be nice and pretty looking. It'll be like a nice dome.
So do you actually get to see the elephant's foot?
I don't know because
I'm pretty sure you do. Well, at least you did at one point.
Maybe
there's
at one
photos
point.
of it at least.
Yeah, well, of course there's going to be photos of it, but I don't know if like you can go visit like you can't go visit inside that building.
Why?
Like inside that reactor.
If you're going to pay to go visit Chernobyl, I want to get fucking radiation, goddammit.
You're going to die.
If I'm paying to go, I'm sure that's not cheap.
No, probably not.
So if I got to pay fucking significant amounts of money, might as well fucking risk it for the biscuit. I'm not going. I have no interest in going to Chernobyl, but fuck that.
Chernobyl tour. Cost. I mean, I would go. I feel like it'd be really cool.
You can have fun there, Jim.
I feel like it'd be really cool to
have fucking fun.
The cost of a one-day tour, $99 for a one-day tour.
That's it?
$100.
Oh, well, that's not worth my life.
That's just this website. It says, welcome to our scheduled one-day trip during which you can see you register at 8 a.m. or do you depart at 8 a.m. and then you have to go through multiple checkpoints and the official entrance to the exclusion zone. You look at the village of abandoned houses and barns, a shop, and the house of the only self-settler, Rosalina Irvania. That's that woman I was telling you about that stayed. Like, she still lives there. And then you go through more stuff. You visit the town of Pipiet, however you say it, populated by 50,000 people before the evacuation. That's where, like, the COD map basically was, like, you know, the apartment building, the hospital, that swimming pool. Like, I've seen people do ghost investigations in Chernobyl. Like, paranormal investigations in Chernobyl. Because, again, a lot of people died there. A lot of people are connected there. Like, they went into those apartment buildings because people were told, get whatever you can and leave, thinking that they were going to come back, and they didn't. So, like, there's still in those buildings, like, kids' toys that are just chilling there because they thought they were coming back to get them. Clothes, like, stuff in those places. Like, obviously, in the last 30 years, it's decayed, but it's like some of that stuff is still sitting the exact same way it was when they walked away.
I think it'd be interesting to go into, like, apartments or houses and shit to see what's still in there from
right.
30,
And that's not even
ago.
like that area is still, like, the radiation there has gone down to where you can go in there and explore for hours and you'll be fine. It's the closer you get to that reactor, obviously, the radiation level rises.
Right. That's interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
So, Area 51 now.
This is going to be a while. This is probably going to wrap us up.
No, I won't. This will be the last topic to talk about, but
that's what I mean.
I'll make sure it doesn't go on for fucking 10 hours.
No.
So what do you think happens there, dude? Because there's so much
Dude,
speculation of what
I've
goes
seen
on
those
there.
videos of people on YouTube that, like, try to go up to the gate there. Because, like, there's a gate that you can go up. There's multiple gates, but there's this one gate that I've seen them. You can go all the way up to the gate, and they literally camp there. Like, set up a tent, sleeping bags, and camp there, which they can legally do because you're not allowed to go past, those gates.
Yeah.
But
you camp outside.
Yeah,
Nothing
but the
to do.
people that work in Area 51, if it's, like, military personnel or if it's, like, military police or security or whatever they're classified as that work there, they'll come up and ask them what they're doing, what brings them there, all that, trying to interrogate them to figure out what they're doing there, because trying to interrogate to see if maybe they're doing something illegal or have something illegal that they could arrest them and get them out of, because obviously they want them out of there.
Right.
You go on Google Maps, too. This is a little off topic with it, but you go on Google Maps and you try to zoom into Area 51, it's a big blur.
Really?
It's a big blur.
Let me see.
I've
Honestly never tried to do that.
I've heard that, and I thought I've seen that. They may have changed it, but at one point when you went there and tried to zoom in on certain things, it's like a blur.
Are you trying to do it too, Sierra? I figured.
Yeah, another thing is, like, parts of it looks like it's, like, phone, like it's, well, I have a feeling what's similar here is in Japan, where the Boeing factory is, where they build parts for Boeing planes. I think it's Japan, maybe China, somewhere over there. The roof of the building, they manufactured empty fake streets, houses, sheds, and trees, and built it on the roof of the building and float it right into the town around the plant to disguise it from the sky back in, like, World War II, like Vietnam and stuff like that, so they could manufacture the planes and parts for the planes to go to the military.
That looking like a factory.
Yeah, in disguise. So I wouldn't be surprised if that same type of concept is done here.
The same type of concept.
The same type of concept is.
If I just said that the exact way you did, I'm gonna be fucking surprised. I hope you listen to this recording and tell me if I did.
Because, like, obviously this is clear, but, like, some of these look fake as hell. Like, it's so, like, there's so much repetition and, like, certain parts of it looks
it's like a
fake.
campground, sort of. Not a campground, but like it's a military base, technically.
But why is it in the middle of nowhere?
Well, why is Ravenna Arsenal in the middle of fucking nowhere?
But it's 10 minutes from here. 20 minutes from here.
Yeah, but it's in the middle of nowhere. The amount of land they own is astronomical.
Yeah, dude,
not
but
that.
Look at this. This is literally in the middle of the fucking nowhere.
Oh, yeah. So is Ravenna Arsenal. In comparison to everything around here, it's in the middle of nowhere.
I think stuff happens there that they don't want us to know about because, and like, yeah, all obviously military bases are secretive,
Sure.
and not anybody can just walk up on them.
Right.
But like the one in Vienna, for example, you could walk right up to the fence and see planes, buildings.
Yeah, sure.
Same thing in Ravenna. Like, you could walk up and see things from the road, from the edge of the fence. Like, these motherfuckers got this bitch locked down for miles to where nobody can even get close to that shit. And I thought I seen something online before, or read something, or heard something, that the people that work in Area 51 live on Area 51. Like, they don't leave.
Correct. Well, I think they can leave. Certain people can leave at least. They fly in and out of Area 51 specific. Like, it's a direct flight basically. Like on a private jet or private airplane. Like, they can go home to their family, but they can't say anything. They can't talk about it. So my cousin is an aeronautical engineer. Okay. I'm not going to say his name.
Fancy
not
shit.
that it really matters, but
Right.
he's a very nice.
The first 2 episodes were nice and like funny. Now we're just fucking dirtballs.
It's called the shit show for a reason,
Yeah,
right?
I guess you're right.
All right. Anyways, he's an aeronautical engineer. His ex-wife, realistically, dumb bitch, is a professor. She has her doctorate. They're both very fucking smart, okay? They have a kid, also very fucking smart.
Of course.
He's like 6 or 7, I don't know. He's
fucking
astronomical.
Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory.
Literally. Anyways, he's an aeronautical engineer.
Okay.
So they obviously used to live here. That's where they met and everything. They moved to, I think, Cincinnati at one point, and then Boston, and then they moved to California. Well, there was at one point, when he worked for, I forget who he worked for. Obviously not, I don't think it definitely wasn't GM. That's fucking stupid. I don't know why that's the name that comes to mind. Anyways, he worked for a company where they developed certain things. I don't know. He obviously, he couldn't tell us, but he basically told us he got a position, he was moving, he can't talk about it.
Right.
And even after he got a different position, I think either with the same or different company, I don't know, and he moved again. He obviously still couldn't go into detail what was said, but all he said was, I'm legally not allowed to talk about it because of the contract he signed, basically.
Right. When you work for Area 51, you're locked in for life.
Yeah,
you
that's basically what he was he wasn't a part of Area 51, but he was a part of certain aeronautical things where he's legally not allowed to talk about for, X amount of time or his lifetime, whatever.
Right.
And at least none of us that at least my immediate family, he's never said anything like, oh, I used to work on this and this or whatever.
Right.
I did this, I designed this, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
He's never told my immediate family any of that. The rest of my family, I don't know. I highly doubt it because that risks his confidentiality and all that sort of shit.
And I'm sure there's legalities behind it to where, he might not work for that company anymore or work for the U.S.
He still can't say anything.
Right, because as soon as he does and as soon as they find out it was from him,
right, exactly,
he's going to jail, prison, whatever.
Yeah, but but that shit actually happens. Like that's happened in my family where you legally cannot talk about anything, especially aeronautical, which has to deal with Area 51. For what they do. I've always heard about it from as early as I can remember that you can't talk about certain stuff because of contracts or criteria or whatever.
Correct.
But I never thought anything of it until it actually happens in your family, someone in your family or whatever that's like, hey, this is legit. You can't talk, I can't talk about this, nothing like that. This is confidential. Only I know about it. My wife doesn't even know about it. I can't technically tell her, and I see her every day. Well, wife at the time.
Right.
Anyways, I can't even tell her about it, let alone any of my family or friends or whatever. Can't talk about it outside of work with coworkers if you really wanted to. You can't do that. Right. Because if it gets exposed, then it's a big avalanche.
Correct.
But anyways, back to the topic. What do you really think happens at Area 51?
I want to we had this conversation about the aliens, in the second episode, but everybody's like, oh, that's where they house the UFOs and that's where they have aliens and blah blah blah. I don't know. Obviously, there's military stuff that happens. It's a military base, so there's going to be military, actions that take place there. Military, training. It could be multiple different things. But what happens underground or in those buildings that the public eye doesn't have any vision to, that can't have ears inside of, you just don't know. You truly don't know what happens.
Yeah, man, it's weird. Like, I feel like obviously there's stuff that they're not telling us, which is understandable because obviously any type of military is not going to tell the U.S. of what's going on, which realistically we should know, but to each their own. But I definitely think that there is more things that are happening than we even think.
So,
and it's always been like that since Area 51 was created. Like, that was the designated area for anything extraterrestrial. And because they always, for whatever reason, they always pinpoint extraterrestrial or anything on Area 51. Why? I don't know if it's because it's in the middle of nowhere, or if that's what they specialize in. Like, I guess I could do more research and probably find somewhat of an answer, but I'm just going, whatever's coming to my head.
So, I just typed in Area 51 conspiracy theories, just try to pull up a little bit more information.
Sure,
on the topic.
see if there's anything on there.
And get into more detail of what we've both talked about. I'll just read these two quick little paragraphs, or these two paragraphs. There's a whole thing on it. But just the two paragraphs here. It says, it is not accessible to the public, which we know that.
Of course.
And is under 24-hour surveillance.
Obviously.
Area 51 employees reach the facility by way of airplane.
Yep, I knew that.
They fly in and out of a restricted terminal at McCarran International Airport, which is one in Vegas.
Okay.
So they have their own terminal.
Yeah, which makes sense.
And one of several unmarked planes permitted to fly through the above airspace.
Yeah, of course.
It says, adding to the secrecy, this is what I was bringing up, satellite imagery of the installation was censored until 2018. So that's when I was talking about the blurriness and everything. I knew I had seen the buildings were blurry, the runways were blurry. The whole area was a blur. Like, it was censored until 2018.
So, does it say why they unblurred it or why it was blurred?
It just says adding to the secrecy, satellite imagery of the installation was censored until 2018.
I think we should look. Our next thing should be like why was it censored?
Just
out of curiosity.
As of today, Area 51 is visible on Google Maps. The only confirmed use of the installation is as a flight testing facility. During World War II, the U.S. Army Corps has used the site as an aerial gunnery range. Because if you look at it on a Google Maps point, you have this building, the runways, then you have this massive, probably an old lake bed of something that they probably could explode bombs in, shoot things, blow shit up, and it's not going to affect nobody.
Right.
That would be my assumption to that. In 1955, the area was selected by the CIA as a testing site for the Lockheed U-2, a high-altitude aircraft. President Dwight D. Eisenhower authorized the testing, which was to be conducted under the codename Project Aquatone. After the U-2 was put into service in 1956, Area 1 was used to develop other aircrafts, including the A-12 plane, also known as the Ox Cart, and the stealth fighter F-117 Nighthawk, which I'm assuming is like a fighter jet. On June 25, 2013, the CIA approved the release of the declassified documents about the history of the U-2 and the Ox Cart programs in response to the Freedom of Information Act's request. The release of those documents marked the first time that the U.S. government formally acknowledged the existence of Area 51. Since then, not much other information has been forthcoming.
Okay, so before we continue on with that, the whole Freedom Act's bullshit thingy that you just fucking said, whatever that act is, obviously there's more classified information in Area 51, correct?
I'm going to say so. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm going to say yes.
I don't either. Yeah, I'm going to assume yes. There's definitely classified in anything. Anyway, there's classified information regardless between Area 51, CIA, FBI, whatever. All the type of governments or whatever what they own. There's classified documents.
Every government in the entire world has classified information.
So specifically in the U.S. because of that act right there, why are they not declassifying any of those?
Right.
Obviously, there's some that are declassified.
Right.
I get that.
Right.
But if that's an act or whatever, a right for us or whatever, however they want to word that particular thing, why is everything not declassified to where we know exactly whatever it is that they have quote unquote classified?
Right. And
it's kind of weird.
And this next paragraph,
like, I guess why do they get to pick and choose what
is coming out? Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's not
right.
Not that life is fair, but the way it sounds in that sentence, the act of whatever. Again, I don't know the quote unquote of it, but if that's the case, we should know anything that has been classified needs to be declassified because we deserve to know because of that act. In my opinion, I don't know.
Here's the thing about the the extraterrestrial life that lives there, if it's there. If it really does live there and people that work there have to be quiet and can't say a word or something happens, when somebody comes out and says something, why aren't they held accountable if it really happens? But here's when it says, we know what you're thinking. What about the aliens? Many people have reported seeing identified flying objects, UFOs, in or near Area 51, and the popular image of the place is a secret site for extraterrestrial research. How did that come about? Said in 1989, a man named Robert Lazar, or Laser, claims he worked on extraterrestrial technology inside Area 51.
Mm-hmm.
Lazar told Los Angeles television reporter Greg Knapp that he saw autopsy photographs of aliens inside the facility and that the U.S. government used the facility to examine recovered alien spacecrafts. Although Lazar himself was discredited, his claims spun numerous government conspiracy theories, most of which involve extraterrestrial life. According to the CIA, test flights of the U-2 and the subsequent military aircrafts around for many of the UFO sightings in the area. There are no evidence of extraterrestrial contact at Area 51 or anywhere else. And that's the end of that type, like the end of that thing. But like we said, if aliens were there and I came out and said that, the government's going to want to hold me accountable to releasing information that shouldn't have been released.
Right.
So something could have been done about that.
Right.
Maybe that didn't say it in here. Maybe that man just fucking up and disappeared.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe he just 2 weeks later he mysteriously died somehow.
All right.
And that could have been part of his contract was, hey, if you come out and said this shit, you're going to die.
Right.
And he did. Now he's dead. I don't know that, but that could have happened.
Right. For sure.
It's just there's too many things that are unknown about the place that make it seem like something secretive is happening there.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I've always wondered on what actually happens there and what aren't they saying about it, or what are they picking and choosing to say. It's just weird. And I mean, I guess it's like that with any type of conspiracy theory. At the end of the day, that's how it is with any conspiracy theory. What are they? What really? It's really what it is what really happened versus what are they telling us? And it's hard to decipher both, because if someone says, "Oh, this really happened," well, how do you know that actually happened? That's not someone just talking out their ass. Really, it's like the whole saying, "Pics or it didn't happen," or "Videos or it didn't happen." Right. Like, and I know that's hard to do. Obviously, back like for example, like the whole JFK thing. Like, obviously they had video back then, but like, what are the odds that they're gonna have a video of Lee Harvey Oswald fucking shooting JFK in the head? Like, what are the odds of that? Obviously, they don't have. Well, if they do have video, they didn't release it. But for talking sake, there's no video of that. So like, there's just so much speculation, I guess, that you just don't know, dude. You have no idea. You're going off what people say, regardless of if it's the government or if it's people or researchers or whatever it is. People's and like Joe Schmoes or whatever, or researchers or whoever it is. Like, it's weird, dude. Right. Like, conspiracy theories are like a fucking rabbit hole. Like, you can trickle down it for days and weeks and months, and you just end up in the same fucking ending, and you'll never know. Right. Realistically, until someone comes out with proof, basically video proof. Because, I mean, photos can be edited, and so can videos, but I guess videos would be a little bit more difficult, maybe? I don't know. I guess if you have a keen eye, you can tell if it's CGI or not. Right. I guess, whereas Photoshop is a little bit easier to fake.
Do you remember back in, like, 2019, that raid Area 51 went all over Facebook?
I would share so much shit about that, just trying to fucking start shit. It was so funny.
Yeah. There's another thing way off topic, conspiracy theory, and then this will probably wrap it up off of Area 51. I don't know if you've seen it. I noticed it on TikTok. Don't know what the guy's name is, but I think he's somewhere in America. and I think it's somewhere more west because it was a mountain video. And he was driving down the road, and he took a video of this creature on top of a mountain. Like, it was from a distance, but there was this black figure.
Was it a Sasquatch?
It might have been. I don't know.
Good chance.
But he posted this video. He said, oh, I'm going to come back. Every day I drive through here, I'm going to see if I see it again. And he goes, oh, if you want, maybe I'll go up there and see if I can find something.
Right.
Never post another video for like 2 months.
Kind of weird.
He said he's seen cars coming past his house at like random ass times through the middle of the night and just stopping and like right in front of his house, like
shining a fucking flashlight in.
Like he was being watched.
Sure.
Or pictures were being taken of his property.
That's weird.
He said he's seen weird things flying over his house or like circling the area,
Sure.
like they might have been targeting his property.
Right.
And then there was a video that he posted 2 months later after he posted that original one stating that he's fine, nothing's wrong. Like somebody was forcing him to make this video stating that he was fine, nothing was wrong, he was in no danger, blah, blah, blah. He posted that, and it looked like he was just slammed up against a wall and he was reading off a script. Because people said they watched his eyes go, from left to right and then bounce back to the left like he was reading off a paper next to the camera or something like that.
Right.
So they posted that video, and then nothing for weeks. Another 2 or 3 weeks went by.
Sure.
And then he posted another video saying that video was all fake, that he's in loads of trouble, he's in loads of danger, he's going to die, they're going to kill him, and then nobody's heard from him since.
Really?
And this was like a couple months ago that video was posted.
And there's been nothing since.
And there's been nothing since. Like his TikTok has nothing.
Do we know the TikTok account name?
I could probably try and find it.
It's kind of crazy how, like, I'm sure, like, I wouldn't say the dude was acting hard when he made the original videos, but I'm sure he probably thought he was untouchable. Felt like he was untouchable. But he let himself be touchable. Get worried and paranoid. And let people, like, hold him hostage, quote unquote. You ever think about that?
What's that? I'm trying to find this TikTok.
You weren't even fucking paying attention.
No, I was trying to find this TikTok page for you.
So I guarantee when he was making those videos, he probably thought he was hard as fuck. Like, basically, like, oh, like, look at this shit. Like, and thought he was untouchable.
Pretty much, probably.
Which I get. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, I respect that. But, like, if someone comes up to you, like, why are you posting a video saying, like, oh, like, I'm okay, blah, 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 and then you post another video saying, oh, no, I'm in loads of fucking trouble, like, fucking save my life. Like, why wouldn't you figure that the fuck out the first time and tell whoever it is to go fuck themselves?
Again, it could all be staged because people stage shit all the time.
Let me see that.
Yeah, you can scroll through that page. Check out some videos. But I feel like there's just, like, too much stuff that could be faked. Because, like, back in the day on YouTube, all that shit could get faked out. All that stuff could be easily staged and edited and CGI'd, and that could be his buddy in the fucking car sitting in front of his house. That could be a buddy of his sitting in the car down that back road. All types of shit,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
it's just, it's hard to say.
It's
but
weird.
That's another one of those conspiracies that's like, could it really be something happening in the sense of he captured something that wasn't supposed to be captured?
Right.
And then this shit's really happening to him, like he's really being stalked, he's really being told to make this videos and shit like that.
I mean, honestly, I doubt it.
I doubt it, but
I doubt
if it is happening and it is true.
Because, like, if someone told me not to, like, capture something, like, I don't care who you are. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess I have a different mentality, and everyone's gonna say, oh, well, you say that now until it happens. But no, like, I really don't give a fuck. Like, no one can tell me what I can and can't do. Like, in terms of like if I want to record something like out in public, technically,
right.
I'm allowed to do that.
Right.
Like, if it's not like technically a restricted area, like obviously recording in Area 51 is different because it's
right.
a
probably
private area. It's private.
If
property.
you got in Area 51 to try and record, they'd shoot you dead before you even got to.
But like if I'm recording like in the mall and I
right.
witness something in the sky or something, for example,
right,
and like people trying, whoever tries to come after me,
right.
No, motherfucker, it's private or public property. Like, fuck you. Like,
right.
like no, don't tell me what I can and can't do. Like, you can't hold me hostage.
Right.
Like, it's not gonna work. I'm not gonna be down with that.
Right.
I don't know. It's weird, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's all a toss up at this point.
I feel like that's all conspiracy theories is toss ups.
Yeah. It's whatever you want to believe.
All it is somebody that came up with something and said something.
Yeah.
And is it true? Is it not true?
It's whatever you believe, man.
Right. And
It's whatever you believe.
you know, it could be 100% fake, but the shit they said sounds so true.
Right.
To where it makes sense.
Right.
You know, just like it's a conspiracy theory, but you know how they always say, oh, when you die, you're always reborn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a theory that when you die, you know, they're like, oh, don't go towards the light, don't go towards the light. Well, what if that light is the light of another hospital room that you're being reborn as a baby, and then you're crying because your past life is gone?
Right, and then eventually you forget about it because you just...
And then you start to forget, but then you hit deja vu, which happened in your past life.
But you don't realize that. It feels
Right.
like your current life, but it's...
It feels like your current life, like something happened. You're like, wow, I feel like I've experienced that exact same thing before.
But you know you haven't.
But you know you haven't.
But you have.
But you have in your past life.
It's weird. Never know.
Right.
Dude, I don't want to die anytime soon, but I can't wait to die in terms of that.
Dude, I wish you said before.
Like I see you laughing, but that's fucked up, and I get it. But like, I want if I could experience death.
Like if I could die in this chair right now, but come back in an hour.
And I can come
where would
back.
I go? Like would I just see my dead body chilling here and I could fucking zoom around your house?
Right. Or
would I go to heaven?
somewhere else?
Or would it just be fucking black and I'm just like, all right, it's dark.
Yeah, exactly. Because we obviously have a conscience.
Right.
And I feel like I could go on another episode talking about death, but
probably. I feel like we've already talked about that too, in like the
probably.
ghost alien.
But
thing.
like you have a conscience.
Yeah.
You make subtle decisions in your mind
and I
based
think
on your
that conscience is your human spirit, your conscience, your mind.
So,
I think that's the part
I guess
that
what
would
I'm saying
become.
is we're there's no way
the
there's no
afterlife.
way that when you die it just turns black and it just doesn't exist anymore. Like I don't know, I think we're too advanced to do that. But
I think that's
we're
where,
not advanced enough to know what happens afterwards.
I think that's where like the afterlife paranormal comes in, because if you're attached to something and you stay attached to that object or that item, then you know that your human spirit, your conscience, your unbodied life stays.
Right.
You leave your physical body and you join the spiritual world.
Yeah.
Like you leave the physical world to join the spiritual world.
Right.
I feel like that's kind of where that
right.
ties in too.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, if I could die for an hour or two and then just know I could come back to share my experience, I 100% would.
Yeah, I would. No
Like
doubt in my
there's
mind
no
I would do
question.
that.
Like fuck going to Chernobyl, but if I could fucking off myself for 2 hours and then come back, I would. No question. Just
Well,
to
that's like-
experience
you
it.
see that shit online all the time of like people that died in a hospital and then they're dead for like 4 or 5 minutes and then
Yeah.
they get revived and they're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I seen the golden gates of heaven
Right.
and the sunshine
Right.
and
But
my dead family members.
the thing
and-
is, what is that just their brain like overstimulated because of not having oxygen and shit, or is
did that
is that
really
true?
happen?
Yeah, is
Yeah.
that true?
there's no way to tell that.
Exactly. There's no way until you do it yourself.
Right?
And where you die. Like
Right.
there's no coming back. Like
Right.
you hit
You're
that
gone.
point.
Yeah.
And,
forever.
but the thing is that you won't be able to tell anyone that's alive, at least, at all.
No.
Like I don't know
Can't
how that
send
like,
a text message from
right.
heaven.
Like if I died and then you died, like I don't know, like if I'd be able just to magically see you one day. Like that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like
Well, like
oh, hey,
there's
like
that theory that like when you die and you go to heaven, like when you get to that golden gate, when you're getting to heaven and you're being greeted, you're gonna have all your family members that have passed on, your
Right.
pets, that are there.
yeah, and like the way you remember them.
Right. Correct.
Like
And the way they remember you.
exactly. Like there's no proof of that.
Yeah.
What if that's really happens? And then like you could just like go like see like your friends like that have died.
Right.
You just like call them up and just be like, hey, like what are you doing? Like you
about to
chilling around?
slide.
Yeah, I'm about to slide. And then you just like float over to them.
Yeah.
Like what if that's like if there's like a true afterlife that's like in a completely different world that's magnificent and no one knows. The only people that know are the
possibility.
people that are dead, but they can't tell us that because there's just no realistic way of telling. Like they can't just come
Right.
down, like pop them for a bit. Hey, it's real, and then go away. That'd probably be scary, but
I don't know.
like
I feel like we could have another episode about that.
yeah, for sure, dude.
Like not the ghost part of it,
No, but the afterlife,
like the afterlife.
the afterlife, and just like it's wild, man.
Yeah.
Like
What happens?
exactly what happened.
Let's save that. We'll
Yeah,
branch off of
definitely.
that another time.
Definitely. Well, yeah, we've been I mean, this is a over an hour long episode. So yeah,
As usual.
That's good. That's
Right.
great. We covered what we wanted to cover. We
Damn
dabbled into a little bit more for episode 5.
Yes.
Hopefully, at least a
Around
future
there.
episode, anyways.
Yeah, it's gonna be soon.
Yeah.
Maybe not 5. You know.
Yeah,
we'll
but
figure
it'll
something
eventually
out.
happen. So
Well, actually, I don't know when episode 5 is gonna be because this weekend I'm out of town. Next weekend is that paranormal trip.
we'll figure it out.
So
Maybe episode 5 will be that paranormal trip.
maybe I go on Friday, or on Saturday, and if you can't go, if you can't swap your stuff around, and I go, I'll shoot some video there.
Yeah,
Maybe not make it a full video,
just a little.
and we can
thing.
record on Sunday,
Yeah,
and I can talk about it, and I can show some footage in there. You know, bring some stuff for you to watch, all types of stuff.
right.
But
Yeah,
check out dieseldownload.shop.
Diesel download.
That's down below. Code ShitShow15 on RBrand's. Their Facebook shop is posted down below. You'll be able to go on there and check out all their products, beard oils, beard butters, different things like that.
Yep.
He is also working on full websites, which will be coming soon. He's going to dabble into the merch side of things.
Okay.
He's getting all that stuff set up now, so he'll have shirts, hats. We might be doing some of his work as well.
Dope.
So we'll get into all that as well. ShitShow15 for 50% off your orders on his site. And then check out dieseldownload.shop. Check out, is it Newark, right? Newark Paranormal. I keep wanting to say Newport. I don't know
Newport.
why. I don't know why.
Need a bag of Newports.
I don't know why I keep wanting to say Newport. Newark Paranormal. Check them out. I will post their YouTube down below. That's who we'll be linking up with for these investigations coming up in the future. And we will catch you guys later.
Yep.
I don't know what's coming up. I don't know if it's going to be a YouTube video, if it's going to be a YouTube
Hopefully
video and
YouTube
a
video.
podcast, a little bit of both. I don't really know. So
Hopefully
we're going
YouTube
to figure
video.
this out. We'll
Cool.
get back with you
Yep.
later.
Later.